In this episode from Drawing with Gloves, I will present the most technically advanced car of the 1960s, which was way ahead of its time, which therefore won the title Car of the Year in 1968, but became no sales hit at all.
Hi, my name is Cor, and welcome to my channel, Driving with Gloves. I always drive with car gloves. Your question might be, why do I drive with gloves? And my answer is, why not?
Mesopotamia means the land between the rivers. Meant is a historical region of Western Asia, situated within the Tigris-Euphrates river system. Mesopotamian mathematics and science was based on a sexagesimal numeral system. This is the source of the 16-minute hour, the 24-hour day, and the 360-degree circle.
To create a car, you need a hell of a lot of mathematics. And in this specific episode from Driving with Gloves, you also need the land between the rivers, a so-called modern Mesopotamia.
Neckarsulm is a city near Stuttgart in the south of Germany. It is located between the two rivers Neckar and Sulm, in short, NSU.
NSU, or in German NSU, was a German bicycle, motorcycle, car and scooter manufacturer. It was founded in 1873. In 1969 there was a fusion with Audi and Auto Vogel. From 1985 NSU doesn't exist anymore, but lives on within Audi. And thanks to Auto Vogel in Switzerland, I have the opportunity to drive an NSU Ro80 today.
Before World War II, NSU built prestigious cars with 6-cylinder engines, cars like NSU 660 PS from 1925, a car which won 4 times the GP of Germany. After World War II, NSU only built motorcycles and very small cars, like the NSU Prince. In 1951, the NSU Motorenwerke employee Felix Wankel started with the development of the Rotary engine. The KKM 57, KKM stands for Kreiskolbenmotor, which is German for Rotary engine, was constructed by NSU engineer Hans-Dieter Paschke in 1957 without the knowledge of Felix Wankel,
who later remarked, "You have turned my racehorse into a plowmare."
When compared to a piston engine, a Wankel rotary engine has a far higher power-to-weight ratio and is approximately 1/3 its size. A Wankel engine has no reciprocating components. The RPM ratio is significantly higher than that of a piston engine. The engine makes no vibration during operation. A Wankel engine is not prone to engine knock or knocking. Since the engine consists of only a few parts, a Wankel engine is cheaper to manufacture and mass produce. The engine's breathing is far superior to that of a piston one, since the main shaft rotation is 270 degrees rather than 180 degrees. A Wankel engine has the capacity to provide torques for about 2/3 of the combustion cycle. The range of speed is wider. Wider octane-rated fuels can be used in a Wankel engine. Sump oil contamination does not happen on some Wankel engines, which means no oil change is required.
So the Wankel engine seemed to be a very good choice for car manufacturers. And from 1964, NSU started to produce cars with rotary engines. They first launched the Wankel Spider, which was produced until 1967, but at the International Car Show of Frankfurt in Germany, they launched the Ro80, and what a revolutionary car it was.
NSU reached out to the upper class, where Mercedes-Benz and BMW were the rulers. But NSU was way more advanced than the rulers of that time. That is why it immediately won the title Car of the Year on the Geneva Motor Show of 1968. The Ro80 had not only the highly advanced rotary engine, but also an automated manual gearbox as a standard.
So you could change gears without using a clutch, and the styling of this car was way ahead of its time.
Look at the sleek low line the car has. This because of the low center of gravity and the low build height of the rotary engine. But there were two big disadvantages of the Ro80. The engine was in the beginning highly unreliable. Most engines had to be replaced within the first 20,000 kilometers. Further, it was not exactly what you call an economic car, because the petrol consumption was way higher compared to other petrol engines in its class.
Not a good requirement for a car during the early 1970s oil crisis.
But how on earth was it possible that the highly sophisticated engine was so unreliable after all these test cycles? After all, NSU gave a 40,000 kilometers warranty on the car, which was for that time an incredible guarantee.
It was because of the unqualified drivers of that time. Because of the rotary engine and the smooth revving up, people totally forgot to change gears. Driving on motorways in first gear, driving through town in third gear. So by not changing gears, the engines were ruined. And because of the mechanics of that time did not know how to work on a rotary engine, it actually happened that totally intact engines were sent back to the factory, and this caused the very bad reputation of the NSU Ro80. Nonetheless, the NSU Ro80 was built for 10 years until they stopped production in 1977.
The engine problems were solved soon, but that image of bad quality remained. Further, due to the fusion with Audi, Auto Union, the rotary engine had no chance within the company's philosophy.
But as I already said, the car was way ahead of its time. It drives tremendously smooth, almost like a modern electric car. But you should be aware not to put your hands on the gear lever, because the clutch will not be very pleased if you do. I will now show you the magical rotary engine.
The car has a two-rotor Wankel engine. It has a power output of 115 PS at 6500 RPM and a maximum torque of 137 Nm at 3000 RPM. It is attached to a 3-speed Fichtel und Sachs, all synchronized manual connected with automatic clutch, which is vacuum operated, and Fichtel und Sachs torque converter.
The car has disc brakes all around. The front brakes are mounted in boards to reduce the unsprung weight. It also has independent suspension all around, and it even has power assisted steering. And it drives very well on these mountain roads. It drives tremendously well. Expected that's that fun to drive.
The drag coefficient was very low for that time, only 0.355. Therefore it can reach a top speed of 180 km an hour.
Although I've never fancied the looks of the Ro80, I must admit that it is a fantastic car to drive. And I want to thank Auto Vogel in Switzerland for giving me the opportunity to drive this car today. And do not forget, this car is for sale. So please like this video and please subscribe to my YouTube channel Driving with Gloves, and see you soon in a new episode from Driving with Gloves. Thank you.